If you're not part of the answer, you're not there at all.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas to Results. I'm joined by Kitty from our content team here at Seek & Giant Media, and we're going to be exploring AI mode. If you find this interesting or you want to do a deep dive, join us on the 6th of August for a whole hour-long session with all of our experts exploring AI mode, also looking at GPT Agent and potentially Project Astra, if you haven't come across that. All of those things are dramatically changing the way users interact, and that customer journey will completely change. So how do we as marketeers adapt? But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's dive into AI mode and give you a bit of a taster of what could be coming up in the event. So Kitty, could you just give us an introduction to AI mode? What is it for those who haven't necessarily had a chance to explore it yet?
Basically, it's a new search feature that Google has that kind of combines ChatGPT interface with AI overviews. So essentially, it handles really more complex queries, really longer tail queries, and it lets users chat to Google back and forth and do multiple searches kind of in one window. And again, it's using generative AI, it's using Gemini 2.5 model to aggregate lots and lots of different responses from across the web into one coherent source response to users.
And the results page looks very different, doesn't it? So for those of you who have been using Google for a decade and longer, the list's gone. I guess, what does that mean? And what does that change? And what kind of things do we need to kind of start considering?
So I think with AI overviews, we were used to like the erosion of the 10 blue links. So I know since AI overviews expanded, I think the click-through rate on that top one position has gone down by 9%. So I think click-through rates are really going to drop. Luckily, AI mode is something you can toggle on or off. So it's not like the SERP is gone. It's just you can choose if you're doing maybe deeper research, more conversational research, to go into that kind of chat window. I mean, for businesses, it's super crucial right now. It's going to impact everything, particularly click-through rates, because your web pages aren't going to show up normally in the 10 blue link style. If you're not credited as a source for a certain response, you're nowhere really. If you're not part of the answer, you're not there at all.
And that's an interesting point, is if it says now with the AI mode, it's like an answer engine.
Yeah, and we're making search much more conversational, much easier. So I think now searches in AI mode are 2 to 3 times longer than ones with AI overviews or just Google or whatever, because it's encouraging that type of conversation. It can do more complex things. So you can ask it now, instead of, where's the best sushi restaurant near me, you can ask it, where should I go to eat and what time should I book? And it can give all that information in one window, basically.
And what impact is that going to have on brands, marketing teams right now?
It's an erosion of visibility. If your content isn't optimized for that style of interaction from users, from that kind of form of searching, you will see decreased visibility because users aren't relying now on traditional 10 blue links. So if you're not one of the 12 on average kind of sources in the side window, you can expect lower click-through rates. And we're seeing this kind of across the board. On
the right hand side, you'll see the sources that are being kind of referenced in order to have generated the answer. So it's pulling all the content from that. People don't necessarily click through to that. They can.
Yeah, they can,
but
not very much.
Yeah.
In ChatGPT, the levels are like 2.3 times higher, the click-through levels for those kind of sources. AI mode is constantly refreshing the sources that it uses. There's now like a 91% difference in the sources it shows for the same query. So you can ask it the same thing, and in 91% of cases, the sources it shows are slightly different. Like, it's constantly refreshing. It's hard to get cited, really.
And I'm guessing that's a bit of possibly Google tweaking their algorithm, possibly also using the dynamic sources as people are modifying their website.
And because it's so context-based, like because of the query fan-out method is what it uses, that's how it, so if you ask it a long question, Gemini will use this query fan-out mode where it breaks the question down into sub-pieces and then goes and explores the web for those. The results, it's providing a hyper-relevance. That's probably why there's so much dynamism in what it's showing, because it's so context-based, I think.
And I guess the big question that everyone wants to know the answer to, how do you get into the kind of the reference kind of articles? What do we get to do?
Formula. First of all is your structure. There's something called semantic chunking, which is really important. So now you are still writing for humans, but you're writing for machines for humans. Think of AI now as the gatekeeper. Users are now only reading what AI deems is worth reading in your content. Now you have to structure your content for AI retrievability. Things like implementing micro content, so bullet points, tables, charts, and in the same kind of vein, also bedding in authority and trust signals. They need to be baked in. That trust is determined really kind of mechanically because they're machines doing it. So you have to kind of hard code in things like reviews, author pages, authorship, all of that kind of thing. Structure, authority, and again, beyond that, PR as well is now really crucial. You have to get your content cited elsewhere on the web and brand mentions about your brand too, so that these machines know this is quality content, I can understand it quickly, other people are also quoting it let's bump that up.
Fantastic. Right, we're going to stop there because we could talk for about an hour on this one, and that's why we're going to be talking about this for an hour on the 6th of August, where we're going to explore all the things that are changing in the world of AI and how that is impacting the user journey. As you can see, it is significant. It's probably one of the biggest changes that we've seen in our industry. So don't miss that content. It should be fantastic. Thanks, Kitty, and we'll see you again next time.